settle down. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. All right. So I see we are a bit together. DJ, just slow down the music a bit. So have you had a good lunch break? Very. Hey, okay. You've had a nice lunch break. Okay. Hata sitauliza zaidi. The very has answered all my questions. All right. So we are headed for the afternoon session. So if your friends are outside, please give them a buzz, give them a shout, let them know that we have started out, all right? Okay. So just before we start out on the next, I'm sure we are waiting for the next guest who will be in the next less than 5 minutes. So from wherever you are, I want you to grab something on your left hand and on your right hand. Something, even if you want to grab your friend's hand, grab. I have given you permission. Something to your right and to your left. Something. Not air. Something. Something. Right and left. Right and left. Right and left. Are we ready? Are we ready? Please don't grab your friend's hair. Sujui yota. I don't know where you will use that. Okay. So, it's been a day full of stories. Huh? Oh, where is mine? No, I am the storyteller. So, you do it for me. You help me do it, yeah? So, I'm going to give us a nice story. So, every time I say right, you lift your right hand. Let's lift our right hand. Right. 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 With that item that I told you to shika. So I don't know what you're holding. Right. When I say left, you lift your left hand. Put your left hand up. Okay. Fantastic. So I'll give you guys a story of a very interesting couple. Eh? So Mr. and Mrs. Wright. Mr. and Mrs. Wright. Hey. Ati oh. Best and brightest. Hey. Mr. and Mrs. Wright were a very lovely couple, okay? So they lived in a nice, because I want you to help me make this story, okay? So they lived in Dash. Where did they live? No, like a place. I want you to give me a place. Oh, a place called Left. Fine. So they lived on the left side of the hill. So, you know, Mr. Wright was a serious traveler. Eh? He just always left. For some reason, he had always left all the time. And so one particular day, Mrs. Wright, while she was in the house, alone, she fell a bit unwell, okay? So it was just at a time when Mr. Wright had just left, yeah? So when Mr. left, do not concentrate on these ones. Listen to this story. Yeah? So Mr. Wright had left. Okay? So she got out to go to the hospital. But the hospital was not so far. It was just one right, another left, and she was right at the hospital. Okay? Yes, she took a right, a left, and then she was right inside the hospital. See, Leo? She was right inside the hospital. And interestingly, she got to the hospital. As sick as she was, she realized she had left her medical card at home. So she needed to go back home. All right? All right? All right? All righty? Okay. Guest of honors, yes. It's okay. It's okay. So she realized she had left her medical card at home. So she quickly rushes home, takes that left that she had taken, takes the right, and she's right back into the house. So she picks her medical card that she had left in the house. But then surprisingly, this day, Mr. Wright decides to take himself. So he comes right on time. Huh? Right on time when she's leaving going to the hospital again. So they take the usual right and left, get to the hospital, and of course right inside, they meet a very good doctor. The doctor was I love how these days we have young professionals, even in the medical industry. Do you have a doctor in the house? We have. Hey, just wave at me if you're the doctor. Eh? Oh, you're a doctor. Oh, surprising. Oh, let's appreciate the doctors in the house. Eh? At least he has not left, right? He's still around, right? Yes. So, back to the hospital. So, meets a very interesting doctor. And I love how we are doing young people, young professionals in this age. So, the doctor decides almost right away that she needs to go for a test. Okay? She needs to go to a test. So, of course, very quickly, they take her to the, is it normally the lab? They take her to the lab, of course, which is just a left from where the doctor was. Okay? So she does her tests. And then Mr. Wright and Mrs. Wright are happily in the hospital because now they are getting the treatment that they wanted because Mrs. Wright was not feeling well. All right? So, no, it's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. We are coming back to the story. We are coming back to the story. Oh, not yet. Oh, sorry. I'd been given a wrong signal. Sorry. So back to Mrs. and Mr. and Mrs. Wright. So they're right in hospital. The test results have come out. They were so shocking. She had never imagined that at her old age, she would get chicken pox. She almost left the hospital on her own, leaving Mr. Wright right there. And didn't have anywhere to go. All right. So, of course, she got the proper medication. She goes home. And, that was just the story of Mr. and Mrs. Right. So, were you confused? Do you wish she had left? Was she right to stay? All right. She would have just left, eh? Because why was Mr. Right not there? Yeah. So, please, you just don't left like that. Always be on the right. Fantastic. All right. So right about now, we are still waiting for a guest that is coming on board. So I want to call John on stage. John, let's appreciate John. Yeah? He is my hype man for the day. So I'm giving him only, John, maximum 5 minutes. Say, uchangamshe watu wangu alafu we go on. Aya, sawa. A round of applause for John.
Hi guys, how you doing? Mko fiti? Mbona tunakani kama tunataka kulala? I'm a kindergarten teacher, so ndawafanisha drills kidogo za kindergarten. Za venye nachangamshanga watu. We always told that we have inner children in us. Sindio? So if you can hear me clap once. If you can hear me clap once. Kuna watu kule nyuma wapigi makofi. Mimi ni mwalimu mtiaji. If you can hear me clap once. If you can hear me clap twice. If you can hear me clap 3 times. Okay, so I want to teach you a song. I want to teach you a small song, and I like us singing. I believe we have guest of honor, MC. Even though tuta clap here, the guest of honor. And I want us to sing. When you're dealing with kids, they're very vocal, Jesus, I love you. They're always singing. So I want, from here, his side, oh yeah, watu wangu, hello. If you can hear me clap once, uko nyuma. I want you guys to say 2, 2, 2. Let's say. Let's go again. And I want you guys here to say, to whom to? To whom to? Nasaik. And I want these guys over here to say, to whom does it belong to? Nice. Wow. Finishing in style. We save best for last. So, ni makofi. So we are trying to figure out ima kofi tunapiga to whom does it belong to? Okay. So I want this side to start. Mwanze awa waingia alafu tumalizie na side, okay? Are we ready? If you're ready, clap once. If you're ready, clap once. Amazing. Okay, let's start. 1, 2, go. 2. Clap for Zini Choir. NYCK Choir. Hii ni NW Choir. Wait, Lucy. Tukona choir bana. It's not really a youth movement, eh? Yeah. One last drill. That was amazing. That was amazing. So, I want to tell you guys, if I tell you guys kaboom, I need you guys to tell me kaching. Okay? If I tell you kaboom, please tell me kaching. Sawa. It's a mind drill. Okay. Kaboom. Kaboom. Kaboom boom. Kaboom boom boom. Kaching ching ching. Kaching boom. Nini, watu mmekula, all the oxygen is digesting food. Okay, one last time. Let's try. Kaboom. Kaboom. Kaching. Kaching ala kaboom ching. Clap for yourselves. Asanteni sana. Clap for yourselves.
Wow! The Odingas! Wow! Wow! A better standing ovation! A better standing ovation! Wow! Wow! Hey, 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 hey! 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 Hey, 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 hey. I love the energy. I love the energy already. Thank you so much to our guests of honors. Let's appreciate them. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us here. Kuna watu kumbe wanaweza piga nduru hivyo? Some people were so quiet. Acha niwaseme. There are people who are so quiet. They've not been talking the whole day, but they have even stood up. Hebu tell your neighbor sikujua uko hivyo. Mwambie siku anajua. Mwambie siku anajua. Hey, all right, better round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for gracing us on this lovely day. So, of course, ladies and gents, I know at this point I have become very irrelevant. Therefore, I will not waste any more of your time. My name is Grace, and of course, I'd like to bring in our chair right about now to take the program from here. Everybody, Lucy! A better round of applause. Mumechoka! Hey!
Vijana hoye. Comrade amechangamsha watu. Si ndio? This is what we call youth power. Si ni ukweli? It's true. Hey. Thank you so much, comrade, for honoring our invite. You see how you loved here. And even the amazing speakers. Yani, ni siku ya youth, si ndio? Na even the amazing speakers mmesikia tu. Like it's our day. It's International Youth what? Yes. Mmekula mkashiba? Are you excited to be here? Without taking much of your time, let me invite the Chief of Party, Yali, East Africa. Wangapi tushairambo? Let me ask you a question. Hizo maswali. Wangapi tumerambwa Yali mara kama 10 hivi? No, it's true. What happens? See, it's true. Mr. George, as you tell us how we can explore easy global opportunities, tuambie kwa nini? Asante.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much. And to CEO, National Youth Caucus, our guests, you know, the speakers who came before me, including Professor Kivuda Kibwana and Madam Susan here, and the guests who have just come in, and other leaders. Doris here, Yali alumni. I see Nora Magero, Lucy is also an alumni, and many young leaders, youths, actually, who have a lot of energy. We really appreciate you. My name is George Kosimbei. I work for an organization called YALI. YALI is Young African Leaders Initiative. So I work at the Regional Leadership Center here in Nairobi at Kenyatta University, where we train young leaders between the ages of 18 and 35. And this afternoon, I was requested to talk to you about packaging yourself for the many opportunities that are there for young people. And I'll do exactly that. I know time is far much spent. Yeah, but how I want to start, my talk this afternoon is by asking you guys a question. How many of us know what a rubber band is? A rubber band. Watu wangapi wanajua bladder? So, bladder, how many uses does a rubber band have? So can I get a few answers from you guys? Yes, sir. Kufunga pesa. I know you are Kenyan, so number 1, pesa. Number 2, nywele. Number 3, I'll take 4. Kufunga mawazo. How? Huh? Kufunga socks kama imesag, by the way, nashikilia. Yes, yes, sir. Kufunga kinyasa. So the reason why I'm starting my talk this afternoon with the rubber band is because it only works when it is stretched. Is it? It only works when it is? Are we together? And that simply means you will only be able to get the best version of yourself when you stretch yourself. Are we together? And I'll come back to that story in a few. Number 2, how many of us have experienced pain? Pain, uchungu. How many of us love pain? There's a guy there who loves pain. Pain. Why do you love pain?
All right, thank you. I love pain because most of the time, if I have something that really pains me, then I get the motivation to really work hard and get rid of it. Yeah.
So that's the whole idea. Are we together? Painful situations that we go through, of course, bring us to really think about how to get out of the pain. Are we together? So the program that I work for, one thing that we do is we pick young leaders who are change makers in the community. And you can be sure when you talk about change makers, they associate with the rubber band and also what? Pain. Are we together? So if you just want to be an ordinary young person, you're not experiencing pain, and there's a lot of pain in our societies, we talk about pain points and all, then of course it becomes more difficult for you to do what? To get recruited. And we are really thankful to USAID because they are the sponsors of this particular program. They invest a lot, to actually do what? To train young leaders. And when you get into this particular program, of course, you get training. And the training you get, of course, you are able to align. Like my friend here, I know is coming in, he just mentioned, I didn't know that, the next cohort. So I'm sure you're coming in for business and entrepreneurship, right? So that is one track. I don't know what Nora did. And she's done quite a lot, and I know at some point maybe she will tell us what she has done. Yeah. So, rubber band and pain. So you have to stretch. Are we together? Because a lot of the programs and a lot of the good things that young people have done, and for Kenya, of course, we have many young people who have done quite a lot, across the world, and they're doing great things, is because they have been able to do what? To stretch themselves. So for you to be able to get these opportunities, number 1, you have to be driving meaningful change in your what? Community. I've talked to a few of you, and they're doing great things. Yeah, but you really need to push yourself to be able to do much more. Are we clear? And in this day and age, there is something that we mention when we talk to young people, values. So you realize we are doing very good things, but majority of us want what? Shortcuts, right? Are shortcuts good? Why? Temporary, short term, and you can see you guys know these things. So it's very, very important to have the right values. It's very, very important to stand for something. And I was excited to see Professor Kivutha Kibwana here, because that's a man in this country who has stood for what? For something. Are we clear? Yeah, so very, very important. We need to have values. We need to be able to be driving change. There are a lot of opportunities for you guys. And if I start talking about opportunities, you just need to figure what problem do I want to solve. Are we clear? What problem do I want to solve? If you go online, there are a lot of free trainings. And one example I'll give you is HP Life. They have a lot of trainings that you can be able to undertake if you have free Wi-Fi. Are we clear? And that's a good opportunity, because the moment you undertake training, what training does is it improves your skills in terms of implementing what you are doing already. Are we together? So you need to take advantage of the many opportunities that are available, and I've given you that example. Number two, and this is again around the right investments. So you take a lot of time doing things that may not add value to your life. And we do many things that may not add value to our lives, is it? And you realize we age very quickly. The other day, I was a young person like you, and I'm sure I'm no longer young, right? Time is far much spent. So if you waste your time, you will actually grow old and you will not do anything. Are we together? So it's important to invest your time in doing the right things. And there are opportunities all over. There are incubators. I know some of you have startups here. We have talked about those who have social enterprises. And social enterprises right now, when you talk about impact investments, this is where a lot of funding is going. Are we together? In Nairobi here, we happen to host events like Sankal forums. Do you know Sankal? African Summit, where impact investors come to this particular city. They come in to look for what? For bankable ventures, which will make them money. So if you are spending your time well, you should be able to have a social enterprise. You should be able to build a community development initiative. And of course, when you talk about resources, they normally follow good ventures, right? So if I've built a good CBO, say in Syokimau or Machakos or wherever in this particular country, then an opportunity basically will come, for resource mobilization. You will be able to get resources. There will be organizations that will want to build your capacity. So the most important thing is to just have something running. Are we together? Yeah, just have something running. Because again, when you talk about jobs, and this is the painful reality of this day and age, we don't have a lot of job opportunities. Are we together? So it's important that we spend our time doing the right things. We can build organizations. We can be able to network. And thankfully, you can see this particular summit. Yeah, we are doing a lot of networking, right? Yeah, in the morning you saw we had even colleagues from Nigeria, coming on board. So as Africa, we need to be able to move together. Are we together? So there are so many opportunities for people who are doing the right things, people who are spending their time well, yeah, and people who are building their skills. Because what skills do, they simply push you to the frontier. Remember my rubber band story? So when you stretch yourself, of course you will get the best out of yourself. And that's what, of course, many more people pick. And out of all these opportunities coming to youths, actually, if today you just Google, opportunities for youth, they're actually quite a lot in this part of the world. Are we together? So we are people who believe in what? In young people. We know, of course, we will be able to get the best, out of you. We know, of course, this continent depends on who? On you guys. Because the old guys, of course, you've been able to see, yes, they have tried to do quite a lot, but now young people need to take it up. Are we together? Yeah, that's basically the reality on the ground. So the other thing that I want to mention here is, as you seek these particular opportunities, you have to align them to your interest. What are you interested in? Because again, how many of us have tried to do things, just for other reasons, other than things that give them gratification? When you try something that is not aligned to your interest, it becomes a very difficult thing to do. Like for sure, you cannot wake up in the morning and you're going to your own CBO and you don't believe in what you're going to do. Are you together? So there are things we teach, by the way, around what we call human-centered design thinking. How many of us have done that course? Human-centered design thinking. Thank you very much. I can see Nora raising her hand. So you realize a very, very simple way, to be able to do things is just to figure out I have a CBO, I'm serving this particular community, what pain points do they have? And really understand those pain points. You can be sure as you respond to those particular pain points, your interventions will be on what? On point. Are we clear? So it's really, really important, you target skills, you have all the time, you have the energy, you have the right support, and the likes of young leaders like we have in the room, you've seen some already, these people are really pushing you to do the right things. Are we clear? So there are courses that you need to take, and majority of them are free, and the reason why they are provided for free online, I gave you one example, HP Life courses. The reason why they are provided for free is because we simply want to move all of us together. So don't struggle building your venture, don't struggle building your CBO, without skills. Are we clear? Yeah, because they're there. And I'm sure, of course, all of us, majority of us go to school, we can be able to speak good English, we can be able to communicate in whatever language, and we can be able to build value around, some of the challenges that we are trying to, to simply solve. So the other thing that I want to mention, and I don't want to take a lot of time, simply because I know it's after lunch, if we go back to pain, and pain, of course, brings the best out of us. Because if you look at all of us, like, for example, when reports are required, you realize you may not necessarily sleep. Is it? Over lunch, I was talking to him, and he told me he's making his company, the company he works for. He's one of the... Are you a co-founder of? Yes. You see, he's a founder. You can imagine a young person with a turnover of over 500K US dollars per year. So something that has given me a lot of gratification is just working with young people. They just come in with an idea, and then they live with a venture, and then they grow. Are you together? And these things are happening here, and that simply means all of us can be able to do something like that. Are you together? So we have a lot of examples of young people who are excelling out of some of the ideas that they've tried to do what? To develop. Are you together? And the other beauty about being in this particular country is we have support systems. Of course, you need to interrogate, the value they're giving you, but we have support systems for ventures. Are you together? So take advantage, build your venture, check out in the ecosystem, which actors will be able to give you value. Push yourself, because building a venture is not easy, and I know I'll listen to your story in a short while. Yeah, so take advantage of all this, build a venture, enroll into all these programs that are there, apply once, apply 7 times, do what? Don't give up. Are we clear? Yeah, I just wanted to be very brief and encourage you to never give up, simply because there's a lot in for you, and you can be sure the energy you're demonstrating here, and this is not only today, every day, the energy that you have should never die down, because you have the whole world ahead of you. Are you together? So I want to end there and really encourage you guys to keep on doing the right things. Are we clear? And we will depend on you from today. We agreed in the morning that you're leaders of, not tomorrow. Are we clear? So thank you very much, Lucy, for inviting me. I want to simply say that we should be able to meet in different forums, as we see what we can be able to get. So, asante sana, back to you, Lucy.
All right, thank you. Let's appreciate, that was George, ladies and gentlemen. A better round of applause for him, eh? I'll join my dream people. No pain? No pain? To the gym, but I know no pain, no gain. All right, so thank you so much for that. I love how we are really networking and having a good time. So, of course, right about now, I just want us to go to our next guest, whom I do not need to introduce much. But I know I'm not the one bringing her on stage. However, I have a few questions. Winnie, I have seen you on photography. I have seen you on communication. I have seen you on IALA. I have seen you doing quite a number of things. So when you come on stage, as much as you're telling us about your grain of boldness, I'd just like for you to tell us a bit more. What do you do? Yani, ka youth mwenzetu, ama ni aje? Ka youth mwenzetu, ama ni aje? All right, so, atuchanue. All right, so to bring her on stage, let me bring Lucy on stage. So everybody, Lucy. Yes, I would like for you to welcome Winnie on stage. Thank you.
I don't know whether I'm good at that. Thank you so much, George. And wow. How am I supposed to welcome someone when you've done the introduction? So, okay, tell me. Tufanya aje, let's do it in a style because it's standing ovation. Amekata tufanya cha lazima. It's good to force issues at times, you know.
But you know, Winnie, I had prepped my people. I told them to stand. I had prepped them. Why are you? Ama namna gani? Ama namna gani? So just for me today, Winnie, let's do this, all right? Just for today. All right, so standing applause. And of course, a welcome to the one and only Winnie Odinga. All right, thank you so much. So, all right, thank you, Winnie. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much. Wow, I was not expecting that. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys called me. I thought this was meant to be on Friday. You called me on a Saturday afternoon. Today is Arsenal's first game of the season. So I was hoping to catch the second half. I see the score is 2-0 for the Arsenal fans. We're doing well. So anyway, I'm always called to speak to young people, and every time it's difficult for me because, as I was telling some people I was meeting earlier, I don't like speeches. I don't like to give them. I don't like to receive them. But since you want a speech, I wrote a few notes for you guys to give you a little speech. So today I'm going to speak about thinking outside the box, okay? And how many of you have ever heard that phrase, thinking outside the box? You probably have all heard it. What does it mean? Who knows what the box is? Does anybody know? Anybody know what the box is? So this box is everything that we do. The box is going to school, study hard, do your homework, respect your parents, don't curse. Everything that we've been taught, that's the box. That's where we live. The box tells us which hairstyle is suitable, which music is good or bad, which person is crazy. The box is conformity. So this box was created to kill your individuality. The box is the home of the things that are not special. Yani kawaida, that's the box. So when somebody's telling you think outside the box, they want you to show what it is about yourself that's different. So today I want to teach you how to think outside the box. First thing I want you to do is think of something that you're passionate about. All of you just take a second, think of 1 to 2, 3 things that you're very passionate about. It can be anything. You can be passionate about physical fitness, community service, animals, whatever. Whatever it is, I'm passionate about Arsenal, but I'm here with you. That's how important you are to me. Now, after you think about this, and remember your passion is your own, not what you've been told to do, what you like to do, what drives you. I want you to make 2 lists. Using the thing you're passionate about, the first thing I want you to do is think whether there's a gap in how things are done. That thing that you're passionate about, is there a gap in it, whatever it is? I'll give you an example. Maybe you want to start an upcountry bus service. So you ask yourself, what is it about upcountry bus service I don't like? Labda ni kelele, the seats are tight, this one is eating maize, this one is eating eggs, I don't know, whatever it is. Yeah? Write your list. What is it about that thing that you are passionate about that you don't like? Those of you who have gone upcountry by bus, can you tell me some of the things? What are some of the things you don't like? What'd you say? I can't can't hear you. Say something. But from the grumblings, I can hear everybody has some problems, right? So the second thing you do after writing that list is you come up with another list of things you can do to change it. So, for example, if it's so boring, maybe you can say, I want TVs on the back of my seat, all right? I don't like it, it gets so hot and sticky. Or maybe you will add temperature control, okay? I like to travel and just hang out with people my age. Maybe I'll offer a service that has a bus with no kids, you know? That's how you think of the second thing. Now, what you're doing is you're being driven by your passion. So after writing these two lists, you then have your business plan. You can go get a loan, and that loan will probably be granted because it's a different proposal than what other people have had. You're thinking of the customer, the consumer, what my friend here was talking about, design thinking, right? So if this was a hotel room, for example, and I put a bed here, why did I put the bed here? Because I want a socket here. Why do I want a socket here? Because people like to charge the phone by the bed. Why do they want to charge their phone by the bed? What else do they need? A light switch here. They don't want to walk to the end. See, you're constantly thinking of what it is that people want. Now, your passion is what will drive you. You see, if you let your passion drive you, if you do it with numbers in mind, for example, I want to make X amount, like this guy, 500K, I'm gonna talk to you after this. If you do it with, I just want to make this amount of money, I know he didn't do that. I just want to make this amount of money, then you become a prostitute for money. Then you will do anything and everything to get that money. But some days, money won't get you out of bed. Trust me. Some days, the consequences of what you did to get that money will stop you and drive you away from your passion, your goal. So that's thing that will keep you getting up every day is that passion. Some days, money won't fulfill you because you are not fulfilling your passion. So if you start an upcountry bus service just to make money, then you'll start doing funny things. You'll start buying the cheaper tires when fuel prices go up. You'll hire that rude conductor. Dereva ni mlevi, conductor ni... And you'll start doing these funny things to save money, and then, before you know it, you're back in the box. At this point, you have rejoined the status quo. Your objective is not to be different or better, and your customers will not see you as different or better. You're back, you're just the same. So unless your passion is driving you, the box will drive you, okay? Now, another thing I like to mentor young people about is making a great first impression. I would say collectively as a gang, when I walked in here, you made a great first impression. That makes people want to talk to you again, come to see you again. So I know I'll be back. I'll give you I meet people all the time who say to me, Winnie, can I take a photo? And I know you're gonna ask me after I'll take a photo. People ask me, excuse me, Winnie mtoto wa baba? They ask me all sorts of silly things. But what I've learned is that when I meet people, I try to imagine their headspace. So coming here today, I thought of some of you. Some of you have come from far. Some of you woke up early. You took a cold shower. You didn't even have anything to eat. The first meal was this one here at lunch. That's why, MC, that's why the energy is higher now, post-lunch. Yeah, you had to walk where ulipita wasewa jaba when they were going home. You were jumping over mtaro. You were doing all that just to be here. So the fact that you did all that, I also had to be here. And I wanted to give you something tangible for you to go home with, something for you to think about. So I thought about you. And I know when you got here, some of you got on the Wi-Fi. You're looking at Edgar Barre on Nairobi Gossip Club or the Shade Room. Some of you are like me who are hoping for this to end before the Arsenal game. I also know that some of you are just fed up. You're fed up with speeches. You're fed up with lectures. You're fed up of being told how to do things. So I didn't come here to lecture you. I came to advise you. I'll give you an example of myself. We're talking about first impressions. When I meet a foreigner, or anybody really, but mostly foreigners, I ask them where they're from. Now, a special skill that I have is that I've memorized all the countries in the world, all the capital cities, and all their flags. I'm not bullshitting. Just Google any country, I'll tell you its capital. But that's Kabul. But if I meet somebody, let's say from Mauritania, they say they're from Mauritania, and I say, oh, Nouakchott? And they'll be like, ah, you know it? Because nobody ever knows the capital of Mauritania. Yeah. So what I've done right there is I've broken this barrier with this person. I've shown them, whether they're from that place or not, it immediately breaks the barrier. They become more gentle towards me. So the first thing when making a first impression is to create trust, which is a genuine feeling that you're interested in this person's life and livelihood. That's the first thing. I'm telling you this because you're all going to make first impressions. Yeah. The second thing is to be genuine. Don't just go in and say, hey, nice tie, nice shoes. Some people behave like there's a list. Nice tie, how are the kids, nice shoes. No, people know when you're faking it. You gotta be you. Now, for me, in my political journey, which is being given to me by force, people are always telling me what to do. And I'm sick of it. You know, they're always telling me what to do. They're always saying, how Winnie does politics is not how politics is to be done. I'm not going to curse. But so what? Yeah. So what? Because nothing ever changes with us always being the same. You have to be who you are. At the end of the day, people either like you or they won't like you. But you got to be who you are. So be genuine, be you. All right? I'm a communicator, and I'll tell you the first thing about communication is not verbal. When you walk into a big meeting, let me tell you a difference between us and monkeys. Monkeys. You know a monkey? Some people behave like monkeys. You see, when a monkey does this, you see what I'm doing? I'm showing you my teeth. They have sharp incisors. When a monkey sees that, it sees aggression. Yeah? If you do that to a monkey, aggression, that's what the monkey's teeth were made for. We were given these rounded teeth, so when I do that, I'm smiling at you. I'm communicating to you that I'm happy, that I'm not in distress. So there are many things, before you say a word, you've already communicating about yourselves. So when you walk into a room, I'm talking with my hands, I'm doing this. I was just chilling here on this chair and I was doing that, you would say, yo, my energy is off, I was not giving you, I was disinterested. So when you walk into a room, you have to walk with your head held high. You give a firm handshake. For God's sake, if your hand is wet, wipe it. Or you go to a guy, don't give a wet handshake. Fellas, never ever wear white socks. Brush your teeth, wear deodorant, because these are the little things that people will not tell you. These are the little things that people think when it comes to their own comfort, that you're disturbing their comfort. Okay? So you can laugh, but think about that one. How we present ourselves says everything. How you smell has said more than what you say. You see what I mean? Then define why you're meeting, and you get to the point quickly. Get to the damn point quick as you can. Don't unload your burdens on the person you're meeting. I'm a total orphan. I'm supporting my siblings. My mama goes, shago. I just want a job. What job do you want? Any job. Anything. I can do anything. Now, you've created, where you had removed the barriers, you've brought another one. You've brought a barrier in front of you that this person only has problems. This person wants to give me their problems. Yeah? You just get to the point that, listen, I went for here, there are these job opportunities. If you can just make this one phone call, it will be fine. If you can just write me this letter and sign it, that's all I need. People are even scared to recommend you when you're telling them anything. Because now you're giving them another job, to look for you a job. So get to the point quickly, all right? Show up the right way. I told you this, don't fake a personality, Just show up the right way. Put your emotions aside and show up the right way. So now I've told you things that I hope can really help you. The first was to think outside the box and make a great first impression. So if you are stuck on what to do next, I've given you steps 1 and 2, at least to manage in this Nairobi. Yeah? I've given you steps 1 and 2. I've given you leakage nobody else will give you. And my final advice was just be you. When I'm hiring people in my company, I have a communication company. I don't want people that are like me or think like me, because I already have me. I know me. I know how I think. I like how I think. Many people don't like how they think. I like how I think. I want you. You are good enough. You are smart enough. You are unique enough. You're intelligent enough. I want you. But I cannot see you if you don't show me you. You get me? So that's all I had written down for you guys today. I've enjoyed myself. I know you guys want to ask me some few things, right? But that's what I had for you guys here today. I told you I don't like giving speeches. I like to hang out. So if you guys are hanging out, I'd rather do that. Invite me for that. But thank you guys very much for this opportunity. So that's it. I'm done.
Thank you. I know we have many questions, right, for her. Thank you so much, Comrade and Her Excellency. I know you told me not to call you that, but allow me address you na hiyo jina. Si ni ukweli? No, it's well. You don't have to like it kidogo. So, how many questions do I pick? No, 3. Sawa? Aya. Hakuna? Gloria? Mm-hmm. The first? The second? Third? Hakuna. Okay. Mariam here. You? 3. Mbona ni ladies peke yake? Mnaogopa? Men mnaogopa. Anyways, yes.
Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Gloria Munyuba. Her Excellency Winnie Odinga, I'd like to...
That's not even my title. Mheshimiwa is my title, and I don't like it. Just call me Winnie.
Okay.
Please.
I'd like to ask a personal question. In your realization to political situations, your political career, how did you come to decide that you're actually interested in it? And did you have any procedures? Did you know of the constitution before it? What advice will you have for the student leaders in Kenya right now in matters of development? Yes, thank you.
Okay. Tell me your name again. Gloria. Thanks, Gloria. That's a tough one. Yes, I know I don't know the whole constitution. I'm not a lawyer, but I know my rights. Politics is a weird thing. I think I'm too close to that speaker. I've always been around it. People always have opinions, comparisons, and people want to fit you in that box. So, you know, it just happened. I didn't want to be a member of parliament. It just happened. You all saw how it happened. It just happened. But now I'm there and I'm like, I don't really like legislation. I like to work behind the scenes. I like to make strategy. I like to think of different things like that. So maybe I'm not a good legislator. I'm lying, I'm really good. But I'm more passionate about behind the scenes. So you'll see me working harder on creating the plan than being at a rally, for example. It's finding your space and finding what drives you. If this is the script, that this is how you have to do things, and my whole spirit is telling me that's not how I want to do it, I won't do it. I'll do it how I want to do it, you know? Whether it's big or small, whatever it is, I'll do it how I want to do it. So I think that's the thing, remaining true to yourself for all student leaders. Remaining true to yourself. I meet a lot of student leaders with a lot of agendas, a lot of different things. But just remain true to yourself. That's how you get there, I think. Anybody else?
Yes, I'm Pascal Juma from the Technical University of Kenya. I just have a question for you. It's just a simple question, but I know it will be a challenge for you. So, what are some of the efforts that you have put forward for the women empowerment and youths in particular? Thank you.
Yeah, it's a tough one. In my life or since I started working? Well, first of all, there's a lot of leaders in politics, particularly in ODM and in UDA, that have helped along the way, maneuver the tough act of nominations, different things and setting up. So behind the scenes, I've done a few things. The other thing is supporting events like this. You know, people will get an event like, maybe they're not many enough, maybe they're not well known enough, maybe they're not whatever. But usually, everything young people call me for, I sort of go. Because I have a bigger platform. And perhaps showing you on my platform will boost you or help you. So I try to just fit myself in spaces where young people need me. In terms of legislation, we've actually not begun. We begin in September. So ask me in December. But I have a few things on the way.
Oh, hi, Mariam Wangeshi. So I've really loved your speech. I was hoping at some point like you'll go on to start that it ended. But anyway, I wanted to ask, Grace, before you started, she was saying your many things, your communications, your words. I would have wished to hear more about that. And do you ever have a problem maybe defining who you are as a person and what you do and your brand? Do you ever have imposter syndrome maybe when you're doing too many things at once? Yeah, so what are your comments on that?
Thank you. Absolutely, you get imposter syndrome. But yes, so my name is Winnie. I am a communicator. I own a communication firm called the Brick House Council. I work in political campaigns, social campaigns, and public corporate relations. I've worked in 5 presidential campaigns in Africa. I like to do that. I used to be a photographer. I used to rap. I used to do a... I'm still talking. No, but yeah, I'm just a young person trying to figure it out. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out. So I'll keep trying different things till I get it. That's me. Yeah. Let me think of a rap maybe after this question.
Maybe. My name is Mosenda Jacob. I'm a journalist by profession and also in line with communication affairs. A multimedia journalist, of course. I have one question concerning youth leadership in Kenya. Mheshimiwa, youth leadership in Kenya has been given a back seat. You have been a leader as a youth. What are the gaps that are there that maybe as youths we are not aware of that maybe hinder our leadership in the country? Thank you.
I think number one is organization. Yeah, organization of young people and young leaders. You know, sometimes you'll think you're working with guys, then another guy will come and give them a 5 sock or something like that, then the guys disappear. We have to find what our goal is. The youth leadership is just disgruntled. People are in there because Kenya, we have a very messed up thing, a system, where we believe the ultimate success is to be a politician. This is the only country where you see titans of industry leave their jobs to go fail at running for governor or something like that. This is the only place. You know, you wonder, like, you've done all these things. What the heck are you doing, trying, you know, abusing who and who there? So we've skewed it, that if you want to be successful, you have to achieve that thing. The aspect of changing lives, that's what leadership is. Leadership is not meant to be a full-time job. Our system of government, to be a member of parliament is not a full-time job. You're meant to have another job. You're just meant to come and talk on behalf of your people, argue it out, and go back and change the laws. But we've made it Baba Nama, we've made it everything in our lives. So that now changes, it affects everything. What we need to get is a clear strategy. What is it that we want as young leaders, as young people? These are the people we're putting in front. You're going to discuss this. You're going to be on this. You're going to tackle that. And go out there and get your agenda. One clear agenda, I think, is what's missing.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll only take a question. So, kama uko na swali, please note it down. Tafadhali because of time. Sinsawa? Yes.
Right. Thank you. I am Priscilla Remo, and mine is not a question. I believe most of us here, we came here to look for opportunities. And as most of our speakers have said, and they have advised us, and as Winnie is concluding to that, we need to think out of the box. And I've thought out of the box, and I'm here to market myself. I believe, and I know, I am a guest relations expert. I need a mentor. I need someone to hold my hand and to tell me, Priscilla, you've come out of the box. This is the way to go. And and I'm looking forward, not for this summit to go unpaid for. I am willing to go the right direction.
Are you asking me to be a mentor?
Yes.
Okay.
I am.
I accept. I accept it.
Yes, thank you.
I accept that.
Wow, you have a mentor. You are a mentor. You have a bonus mentor. Maybe, comrade, you have a part in short?
No, I think.
No, she's here. I know. Wacheni niwaombe time kwake, si ndo?
Okay.
So after your panel na the speaker,
I think I got it.
At a raps, okay.
I think I got it.
Ah, nice.
I'm trying to remember one. Take these off. Okay, you ready? So, you guys ready? Yes. Sometimes I sit at home nikidhani, hani, watanishinda kwa hii rhyming, kwani, msichana simba mini bingwa sina timing, paleka moja disha tisa yoni gani. Niko na kasi ya rada na sauti ya moto, nimepita kama mshindi ukivunjika moyo, hoyo, hoyo, hoyo. Oh no, where did she go? She rapping so fast, she put that beat in a chokehold. Go on, call up Glovo. Tell me you want me in slow-mo. Is that good enough? Huh? I finished the verse. Go on, call up Glovo. Tell me you want slow-mo. Tell him you call the doctors, he's gonna have this flow no more. Oh no, oh no, oh no, where's it kunisho? Kila wimbo na ua, kama mende on the floor. Perimende at your door. Friend, I want some more. Call me come again, cause I done it before. You about your luck? Man, I'm about reform. Kuna mzigo za meli na kuna mzigo to be flown. It's on, it's on, it's on. Kazi off the dome, chapa kazi kwa mchana, chapa jaba kiwa home, it's on. That's it.
Eh, mistari nazo. Mmesikia mistari? Sindio? Mistari. Thank you so much. Tutapanga time ya kuhang out sasa, sindio? Anapenda kuhang out by the way. Ah, nice. So, young people, aki tusichoke. I have an amazing guest nitamuita, and then we have a panel ya our billionaires in the making. The youthful people, kina Lennox, kina Nora Magero. Mnipe grant. So ladies, allow me introduce to you this amazing lady here. I know mental health is a conversation that we should be having as young people. Tunajiangalia ni kama hatuna opportunities. We are at the verge of giving up.
right? Conversations with Esther. Welcome, Esther.
Mheshimiwa, thank you. I keep an eye on Lucy and I said, give respect where respect is due. Youth. Yeah. Tunafika tunazoeana na watu tunakosa heshima. They don't have to be older than you to respect them, but give respect where respect is due. I am much older than her, but I respect her. Okay? Yes. Hey. DJ wanted to do something. Now, I will not rap. Mheshimiwa, that I said to myself, now, amefanya nini hapa? That I cannot do, but we are all gifted in different ways. So this is who I am. I think that face looks like me, right? That is me. Chani watole tu miwani, sindio? That is Conversations with Esther. I'm a legal professional. I'm a HR professional. I am the country chair for GSFN, that is Global Sustainable Forum Network. I'm the country chair for G100, that is the Women Forum. Beyond that, I am a mother of 2. My daughter turns 18 this month. Everyone looked like, oh, you're that old. That's why we are speaking to you, because we are exiting the stage, as she said, isn't it? And because we want leaders of today. I'm very passionate about leadership. I'm passionate about mental health, and especially mental health in the workplace. Now, if you go to our YouTube, we have conversations, especially every Wednesday. There's something we host called Fireside Chats, free, okay? We talk to you about the workplace. We prepare you for the workplace. We tell you about pitfalls in the workplace. We tell you how to behave, for lack of a better word, in the workplace, isn't it? We prepare you for that space. That is usually absolutely free, okay? We have other forums that we do. We do mental health forums. If any of you saw an event that was going on called Wanadada Tufunguke, that was us. Someone is smiling. And we decided that women carry too much. We forget to take care of ourselves. So that day we treated ourselves. No husbands, no boyfriends, no babies. We took ourselves out and had a real good time, okay? 7th of October, let me say that, and Mheshimiwa, I want to invite you. We have an event called Coping with Loss and Grief. Now, loss is not just the loss of a loved one, it's part of it. But the loss of a job, the loss of a relationship, some people going through divorce, you don't know what your neighbor is going through. So what we have done, we've organized, it's free, guys, free. We are looking for clinical psychologists to come and speak to people for free, okay? You will walk in, talk to a psychologist. We will have recruitment companies. We will have manufacturing companies. We will have insurance. We'll have finance advisors and all that, so that we don't just listen to your problem and then we don't give you a solution, isn't it? So the only people that will pay are the partners and those that come to exhibit. But for any citizen, it's free, okay? 7th October, Children's Park, Nyerere Road, just next to Serena, that park. Because I know what it is. I've been in HR for over 18 years. And I've not just handled workplace issues, but you also handle personal issues in the workplace. I happen to be a pastor as well. That's another title, right? So it is important for you to speak to somebody and speak to experts when you need that conversation. and we will not charge you. We are not going to charge you. So we are looking for partners who can just make sure that the people that come in get something to drink, get something to eat, and on all that. That's a different conversation. But as we go into conversations, we are an impact-driven media platform, and we provide a safe space for you to speak and to listen to professional advice, okay? We are guided by 3 values, and everybody here has been talking about values, and I also challenge people when I do motivational talks and I do trainings, I also do corporate trainings, that you need to have values as an individual. Forget about the ones you see in your organization. And some of you who are working don't even know what those values are, but you keep saying we are pushing together. But you need to have personal values as a person. I have 3 values, and my organizations are driven by 3. Number 1, integrity for me is a non-negotiable. Number 2, excellence. If it has no excellence, I'm out. Number 3 is impact. If it has no impact, I'm out. So make sure that your life is driven by values as an individual, right? So please, after this, and I know you've been told by Mheshimiwa about passion and the rest, thinking out of the box, take this very serious. You see, when you get speakers coming to speak to you, it's an investment in your life. Take it very serious. And we were talking with a certain gentleman over lunch, and I said, as we sit here, and you want to do a calculation of the man hours and the cost, give everybody 1,000 per hour. How many hours have you been here? Times how many are we? So it's an investment in you, right? So get your values, be driven by your values, and as you've been told, have your passion, follow your passion. I tell young people, money will follow you when you follow your passion. Your passion is that which you can do for free. And I know most young people don't want to do something for free. But that one thing that you can do for free, or that one thing that just upsets you, you've had people say, oh, I hate corruption, but what are you doing about it? You can hate it, yes. Hating it is okay. We all have the ability to hate something. But what are you doing about it? I don't like seeing waste. I worked in a recycling company, and young people, this plastic you see here is called the new gold in that industry. Okay? So wewe tu utaigonga tu hapa, utaenda. So utatupa pale. Someone will come for it. And all you need, let me challenge you, because I had even put that here. I'm actually just going to speak through what I had. When I worked in that organization, I figured out and I saw young people, sometimes we may not be seeing the opportunities in front of us. When you see this, you see a bottle. When a recycling company sees this bottle, they see money. Now, I'll give you the secrets. And I know my former employer might just be thinking you went to tell them. Yes, because changing your lives is changing generations, isn't it? Now, my daughter, the younger one, said, Mom, you're working for a company that recycles plastic. Please get me what they call a dabra. Hiyo ni gunia ile saiso limeshonwa kubwa hivi. And she collected. And what I did is I just called the company and they bought it. And she had about 1,400 from our own house, one house, from a baby, isn't it? Now, because I have taught them, if you're going for a trip and you want us to give you money, tell us what you also have. So the other day she came and said, Mommy, we're going for a trip. I asked her, how much do you have? She said, I have 5,700. So as a parent, hapo huwezi jitoa, si ndio? Juu hata wewe hiyo 5,000 karibu mwambie hauna pia. But she's 13. So I'm telling you the trick. Let me tell you what is, you see, when I was younger, I did some activations for Safaricom. And we would go to the slums, into the slums, right? Doing activations. Then, M-Pesa was for the rich. I'm not saying it's for the poor now, but Safaricom at that point was looking for someone with good float. You remember? Sawa, wanakuja wanakuambia tunataka 1 million, utatoa wapi? Wewe ulikuwa tu unajitoa. I knew there was a guy in Rongai, we used to go do activations outside his shop. The guy had float. You would never come and withdraw ukose. Hii watu wale wanauzanga sina au wako wanapewa namba, si ndio? Today, your kiosk guy has M-Pesa. True? So utaenda utoe mwambie nataka kutoa 100. Now, collection of plastic is coming to your kiosk. It is so easy for you as a young person to go and make a deal with that kiosk person and say, for everybody that comes here with plastic, remember, they're coming from homes, isn't it? They will come with their plastic, drop it there. It will be weighed. They will earn points that they can take a packet of milk from that shop. That's where it's moving. They're coming for the gold from your house when you're still watching. You are in an estate, in 10 houses. What keeps you from just putting a cage where your neighbors can drop plastic and then call those people to come and buy it from you? And you can give a part of that money to the estate so that at least you pay for the space, isn't it? So think, as she says, out of the box, right? Now, that is economic empowerment. If you know how, whatever you want to call it, think about petrol stations. There's a lot of plastic there, isn't it? Now, we've allowed investors or foreigners to come and teach us how to take care of this plastic bottle. When we can do it, it's not bad. It's okay for them to come. But who is doing the actual collection? Sisi tu, sindio? It's just the idea that they bring. Then you collect it, you sort it. So you just need skills to be told this type of plastic is called this is PET, you know? You see the yellow ones, Zamafuta, that is the real gold. That one sells hot, almost 35 bob per kg. Let me give you the secret, okay? So ukinunuliwa na 10 bob, anaenda na 35. Now, I will not, someone came here and mentioned the scripture, the Bible scripture, Exodus 4, when Moses was having a conversation with the Lord and he was asked, what is in your hands? The issue is that I want what is in his hands or her hands for networking, but what is in your hands yourself? What is in your hand? What is that skill you have that you can convert into a business? Because we all have something. She can rap. True? I don't have it. So I cannot try to imitate her. Nitaanguka vilivyo, si ndio? Yeah? So I am a HR person. I am a motivational speaker trainer, whatever it is I can use. She's in networking, isn't it? So there's something she also said, and I believe in collaboration, not competition. Well, mark my words, there's good and healthy competition, okay? But you can imagine how much you will achieve if 5 of you sat together and decided to do something. Because one of you is in tech, another one is more business-minded, another one has something different, you know? But you see, when we split and I want to do it on my own. That's why she said, when she's hiring, because I even almost told Winnie, she's a HR. When you're hiring, you're advised to look for people that are smarter than you. It makes your work easier. Unfortunately, in the times we are in, people are threatened by people who are smarter than them. Now, you make your work harder because you will have to keep doing what they should do. Hire people that are smarter than you. If you want to do something as youth, look for people that are smarter than you, okay? Now, I had an image of a cow. Just figure out a cow, and I just want you to think how many products, because it's entrepreneurship. I happen to come from a business family. The only person that doesn't do business in our family is my mother. It's okay. We agreed. Haizuuza kitu. The rest of us will sell, okay? So think about a cow. Figure out if you're in Nairobi, wale watu wanaitanga mbuzi, ng'ombe, whatever it is, whatever you see. How many products can you get from it? Just shout. Just milk, cheese, butter, bones. Okay, Okay, now, how many business opportunities are from that one cow, that cow? So many, isn't it? So don't demean what you have. You have a skill. You have something in your hands. Just sit and think about it. If you want to go and think about it in your house, enda uchore hiyo ng'ombe, si ndio? It is important. I had a name, that one, there it is, you can see it. Just think about it. Very healthy, si ndio? There's so much you can get from there. You can be an employer from there. You can be a supplier from there. You can be a transporter. You can have a butchery. You can run a hotel. You can, the tech people can help you sell and advertise. So much you can do. Think about it. Now, as I close because of time, I want to say this. Remember that your mind is a seat of success or failure. Make your choice. We sit here as individuals, we look like we are a group. Today, after this, we will split. Choose what you take from this conversation. Number 2, what you feed grows. What you keep feeding will. So if you feed positivity, possibilities, what you feed will grow. Now, someone and a number of people have said here, be solution-oriented. We can complain. I'm telling you day and night. Hata uchukue hii kiti ukae hapa, you can complain mpaka kesho. The person that will benefit is the one that sits and says, like she says, I've been here for so long. Let me look for a solution, isn't it? Now, see opportunities in every problem. Build resilience. Don't give up too easily. And integrity must be a non-negotiable. Okay? Now, I'll give you a few quotes as I go. Integrity is doing the right thing when no one is. We know that too well. We can sing it. But live it. Make sure you live. Okay? When you are alone, live integrity. Number 2, there's no higher value in our society than integrity. The greatness of a man is not how much wealth he acquires, but in his integrity and his ability to affect those around him positively. And the final one is, it is true that integrity alone won't make you a leader, but without integrity, you will never be one. On itself, cannot make you a leader. But without it, you can never be one. Sawa sawa. So you can do it, youth. I don't do the letters people write to themselves. A letter to my youth. Nilipita huko, hata nikijiandikia barua haifanyi, si ndio? So I become the letter that you should just read by just talking to you. Okay? I remember, whatever you do it with integrity. Okay? Asanteni, and God bless you.
Thank you for that. A better round of applause for Esther. Asante sana. So let's appreciate Winnie even as she leaves. Thank you so much for your time. We can't wait for the hangout. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Hey, but just look at your neighbor. Tell them where. Never tell them where. Hey, are they hungry? Wako na njaa ama bado lunch iko? Food ya lunch iko? Eh? Okay, so I want you to all be on your feet, be upstanding. I want to reward us with a stretch. So just be on your feet. Tell your neighbor to just give you some space. Please stretch to your right, to your left. Eh? If you want to spell NYCK with your body, you're free to do that. Eh? Just stretch. Just stretch. All right, sawa. Thank you. So let's have our seats. Asante sana. That was a well-deserved stretch, isn't it? Well-deserved, eh? That was a session of a lot of information, isn't it? Uliza beshte yako, wewe umeshika nini? Muulize, sasa mwambie sasa kenye wewe umeshika. Msho. Tutawapea zetu right. Tutawalon. Mr. Right atampea.
Okay, we have tuamue sasa. Si mnataka kusikia kwa wa youth wenye waliomoka? Wenye waliomoka, wenye hebu muulizeni alipata aje 120 million. Alafu kuna mwingine hapa, anatupatianga headache. Ukishafika hapa kumbe ashaenda. But we are happy for them. Si ni ukweli? They are really an inspiration to us. So, what we will do, after your panel, ndo tutaenda kukunywa chai. Si sawa? Nani anajua 2023 UN's theme for the International Youth Day?
Green skills for youth.
At least anajua green skills. Nani mwingine anajua? One meeting kindly. This is the most interesting panel. Nasema hivyo nikingoja hii nini itolewe kindly. Climate change. Oh, wow. Actually, I've seen that motion on nothing for the youth, without the youth. They've said, thank you so much. Gloria and green skills for youth. Nani ataniambia vizuri? Wewe una Google unaangalia alafu unaniambia. So, after, I'll give you the mic because you know either way. Green skills for a sustainable youth? Green skills for youth towards a sustainable world. You've had it. Sinsawa. Green skills for youth towards a sustainable world. So, on that note, I want to bring us the sustainability champions and the green. Sasa the theme of the day pia, because as much as we were trying to see how we can unify youth voices, atungeenda away from the main theme that is on green skills. Sinsawa? Noisemakers hakuna chai ya saa 10 for you. Haya. So kindly, the moderator for the session, Joyce Montet, you should be here. Allow me introduce to you the amazing panelists. Billionaire Lennox Omondi, billionaire Nora Magero, the CEO of Ecobana, the CEO of Drop Access. Hey, majina mzito. Kia is and our champion for Africans in diaspora. We made that it's unincluded. She talks about diversity of different cultures and you can feel the synergy. Mutafurahia tu. And Madam Sandra, my CEO. Yes, ladies who slay but work hard. Are you ready? So, they look great, you know. Youth, you know. I thought to see what the youth have in store for us. Alafu mwambie, muulize hata sisi tutafanya nini tukue, you know. I mean, I also want to be a billionaire. Si ni ukweli? Eish, congratulations all. I'm so proud of you. And Kia, I know you can hear me. During the business conference that is coming up for the Americans and Africans who are in, for the Black Americans, for the Africans in diaspora, and basically for the Africans at home. Make sure that these people who are here get an opportunity to network with those, the who is who in the world. Sinsawa? Ah, nice. She's here. She's beautiful, right?
Wow, amazing. Can we just give a hand of applause for the good job for inviting our speakers? And we have been told that we need to think outside the box, you know. So I'm expecting at the end of the day, by the time you're leaving this room, Utako may think, since I've been silent on my dream, on my idea, so what are you going to do about it? And I'm very, very happy to be in the same podium with these amazing young people, yeah? And these are the people where money is running, yeah? So I want us to take our time and learn the tips that you're going to help us grow. And I'm going to invite, starting with Nora, and I'll want them to tell us who they are and what they do.
Thanks so much. Good afternoon, young people. And thank you. Yes, good afternoon. And thank you so much, National Youth Caucus, for inviting me here. This is such a pleasure. And as mentioned, my name is Nora Magero. I am an engineer by profession. And just to give a bit of backstory, so when I left School of Engineering from University of Nairobi, just somewhere over here, in 2014, I was so hopeful that I'm going to get a job because I did mechanical engineering. And I was told that, oh my God, you are young, you are so little in the industry, your life is guaranteed. But then 2014, graduating, shock on me, there was no job for me. And fast forward, now I run 2 organizations. Both are called Drop Access. So there's Drop Access NGO that develops sustainable rural energy solutions in Kenya. Then there is a spin-off of the NGO called Drop Access Limited. Maybe one of the reasons why I'm here so much. And what Drop Access Limited does is we are manufacturing solar-powered refrigerators for use in the healthcare space. And we're doing it here, solar-powered refrigerators for use within the healthcare space. And we're manufacturing here in Kenya. And we're trying to be the first African company to get WHO certification for manufacturing a solar vaccine refrigerator. I'll tell you more about it, just how we got there, and also the successes that we've had as a company, that I've had as a woman, as a young person in the industry, who is driving this entrepreneurial change within Kenya. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Lennox Omonde. Yes, Lennox Omonde. So what I do, I founded a company. It's called Ecobana Limited, which is a social enterprise that manufactures biodegradable sanitary towels or sanitary pads for girls using banana fibers. So I did that at my second year of study at the university. Yeah, so I'm awaiting graduation. And yeah, so Ecobana is, we identified an optimal vehicle, which is banana fibers, to skillfully and innovatively manufacture biodegradable sanitary towels. And we do that here in Kenya. We have our headquarters in Nairobi here. Our manufacturing facility is in Kisii. We have around 3 of them. And I'll tell you more about how we got there, how I came up with the idea. I'll brush over it. And also the successes that we've had. And I feel like if I tell you how my journey has been, or what we've done and the challenges we've had, it might inspire you also to take action and create a better world and build another successful startup as we continue. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sandra Namwaya, and I am the co-founder and executive director of Alpha Creative Digital Agency. Alpha Creative Digital Agency is a tech company So I know most of you have been asking me, are you in fashion? No, I'm not in fashion. I'm a techie. What we do is we are creating a flea market that will digitalize businesses. So any small, medium enterprise that is looking to be digitalized and for sustainable impact in different markets within Africa, we offer those solutions. So if you want to be an app by yourself, we can create an app solution for you. We are also basically trying to move people from paper to paperless. So I believe that's why I'm in this panel, because I come from the tech side of creating sustainability and ensuring that the world, especially for small African business, is a single platform of networks that can create impact. Other than that, I'm the founder of Walk Women Africa. Walk Women Africa is a community for women that stands on the basis of wisdom, oneness, knowledge, and elevation. So in the Walk Women Africa, we train women basically on just how to enter the office of womanhood, because I believe female is gender, woman is office. And then the other thing that I have done is I have served in the board of COMESA Federation of Women in Business, and I'm proud to say I was the youngest board member there. And while I was there, I was in charge of marketing and communication. And of course, I know we'll interact further. Thank you.
Wow, amazing. And so since you're talking about the new world and the new reality, I'll want to ask you guys, a new reality. So in an era of expansive transition across the field of energy, so I mean, how can young people, especially those who are interested in energy? Okay, sorry. So how do youth excel in an era of expansive transition across the field of energy? Especially, how will you advise a young person who is interested in joining the energy, and especially right now in an era whereby we have a lot of chance and opportunity? So how will you advise a young person who has a passion and an idea, but they don't know how to go about it? Starting with you, Nora.
All right, thanks for that. So one thing about the energy space is that everyone is invited. That's one thing we must all know. Each and every single one of us has a space in the energy space, irrespective of what you studied in school. Whether you studied in school or didn't study in school, there is an opportunity for each one of us to get into the energy space. And I pushed myself from mechanical engineering, because after mechanical engineering, I worked a bit in the petroleum sector. Then I found myself now going down into the clean energy space. And I've actually yo-yoed from all sorts of energy, whether it's clean cooking, whether it's solar energy, whether it's wind, whether it's hydrogen. And I can assure you that I've fit in each and every single one sector. All you have to do is educate yourself first on what that sector, specific sector is about, what is required of you, and how you can take part, whether it's advocacy, whether it's writing, whether it's research, whether it's community mobilization. That is the best way to get into the energy space. So when I started my organization, as the name Drop Access, the truth, Drop was meant for water. I was living in Makwini County. I just gotten married. I had my baby. I didn't have a job, but I thought, I could start something and make something useful of myself. And the biggest challenge in Makwini County is water, for those who come from Makwini. And I wanted to see ways of providing water for communities. And it dawned on me very quickly. Without energy, you just can't get water to the people. Like, energy sits at the helm that unlocks so many opportunities, so many things that we need in our homes, whether in our capacities to provide development. And that's why I did the switch now to focus on energy. I didn't know so much about how even to pivot that into energy. What I'd studied was building microgrids for flower farms. But now I had to scale it down to think about the mama mboga, or the woman who is farming some little chicken in her home. How does she get water at her home, and how does energy propel that? And I had to learn about community mobilization from the energy perspective, translating what energy actually means to the woman who cooks with charcoal or firewood, what an energy transition means for them. And I didn't need so much education or a PhD from Oxford or something to tell her that you can actually transition. You can, instead of using charcoal, or instead of using firewood is such a major use still in our communities. And in Makwini, we also burn a lot of charcoal. you can actually switch to briquettes, and this is how you make briquettes. I taught myself how to make briquettes. Some of the early works that I did, and I taught women how to make briquettes and other youths how to make briquettes. And that's how I got my start into energy space, because when I started now just breaking down the fundamentals of how we're going to transition in the energy space to impact the really bottom of the pyramid, it unlocked so many concepts that I didn't really understand. How do we translate energy to these communities? How do we translate energy to the household? How do we translate transition? What is clean energy? What is clean energy in Kamba? I'm not even Kamba, I'm Luo. But in order to get to the heart of the person who needs to understand or adopt the concept, sometimes you need to speak to them in the best way that they understand. Mother tongue, right? So how do you translate energy in mother tongue? How do you translate clean transition in mother tongue? There's translation of saying maybe kawisafi. Kawisafi means clean energy in Swahili. Then there's also the translation of telling them why they need to transition from using charcoal or from using firewood into maybe briquettes or cleaner energy jikos. And I didn't need a very elaborate education to do that. And from there, I taught myself, and I came to realize that, oh wait, we can actually adopt solar solution and solar concepts. How do you teach them? How do you teach them to dairy farmers? And slowly, I realized that there is space for each and every single person to step into the energy space. Because it got to a time when I started working with dairy farmers to advocate for people to take up solar pumping solutions so that there is better yields for dairy farming. And they didn't need a very elaborate education. There is space. Right now, in the age of transition, there is space for each and every single one of us. Advocacy, research. You can be, what can I say? You can actually go study and even come write policy. You can influence policy. Or you can just be the person who is making briquettes for people. You don't have to go through education. But you have to start by doing something and understanding what energy mission you want to drive and where you fit in and what is the most affordable way or the most reachable way for you to actually venture into that space. And it just unlocks a whole world of opportunities. I can assure you there's so many opportunities in the energy space. Just get in, just start something. I hope that answers.
Amazing, amazing. Before we proceed, we will want to invite Kai Simon from the United States of America to introduce herself, tell us what she does, and we pick from there. You're welcome. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? We can't hear. Can you hear us? We can't. 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 Can you hear us? We can't.
Can you all hear me? I can't hear. Hello? 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 Okay, I'm assuming you all can hear me. I can't hear you all.
We can hear you.
I can't hear you all. So, okay, can you all hear me now?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Oh, perfect.
Yes, we can.
Oh, thank you. My name is Kia Wakesho Simmons. I am the founder and CEO of Traverse Culture. We are a travel concierge company that specializes in humanitarian work, relocation assistance, and business development and investment opportunities, specifically in Kenya. I also own Traverse Culture Africa, that's locally registered in Nairobi, Kenya, as well as we employ local Kenyans at the local office there in Nairobi. We also offer those same services in Central America, as well as we work closely with the local government in Belize and in Kenya. I've been doing this for about 5.5 years. We brought Kenya, who has invested in Kenya through our had the opportunity to relocate our first family of Black Americans from Tennessee to Nairobi, Kenya last year, and we're going to relocate our second family in October of this year to Nairobi, Kenya, and we will also be bringing over 200 African Americans to Nairobi, Kenya for our call to action in December for New Year's to build relationships with you all as Black Americans. Thank you kindly.
Wow, amazing. So Simon, how do the youth excel in an era of expansive transitioning across the field of energy? What will you say about that?
I'm sorry, was that question for me?
Sorry, the question was, how do the youth excel in an era of expansive transitioning across the field of energy?
Travel and investment, and bridging the gap between ourselves and Kenyans. I believe that the youth play a major part in expanding into energy, expanding into international relationships, expanding into entertainment and whatever industry that they're interested in. We as a company believe that, and I've always heard this when I was younger, and I am now 40 years old, and now I'm able to kind of give back in a way where the youth is able to benefit off of the work that we've been doing collectively as a group of people. But we often believe that the youth, as it stands, is the future. And you always heard that as we grew up. But as I'm moving in the realm of international business and relationship building with Kenya, I believe that the youth is the most important part of the strategy to move into the expansion into energy or whatever industry they're interested. I hope I was able to answer that.
Yes, thank you. Yes, you have. So Sandra, let me go back to the question about the energy, since you are in the energy sector. So how can the young people, how can the young people, since you're in the energy industry, and we have young people who are here, and I'm sure they're interested also to venture into the energy sector. So how can they involve themselves to enter into the field of energy as well?
Okay, so as we talk about energy, I want us to think about the different aspects that pass for the energy to be delivered to the market. And I'll talk about it from the tech side because that's what we do. We are techies. Now, as Nora has talked about briquettes, we get some clients who are actually making briquettes. We've also had the privilege of working with SGR Petroleum. And when these clients come to us, they're no longer coming with the question of we have energy as a product. They come with the question, how do we get the energy to the market? What is the language that we use? What is the quickest system? What is the quickest structure? How do we map out our logo? And I liked what my brother said when he was here in the morning, that the youth are free, empowered think tanks. So this person has energy. This person has petroleum in some go down somewhere in some factory, but they do not know how to talk to the market about it. They do not know how they will talk to people about LPG gas, for instance. So it takes the imagination of creatives to fill in that space. So for me, what I'm thinking about, if you are a youth here and you are creative and you can run with a concept, because in energy, it's all about concept. The briquettes, as you're saying, it's a concept you need to learn. But maybe the other person on the end user of that product does not have the luxury to find out these things. It takes the young mind to interpret some of the most complex technologies in graphic, in systems, in softwares. At Alpha Creative, we pride ourselves by saying we have coders. And sometimes they code some certain systems and structures that we don't understand, but they tell you know what, if this coding system works, it can be able to transport this and that to this market at a speed of I don't know what in the next 48 hours. And we're like, wait a minute, what did you say? So again, you need to look at your mind, because not everyone can be behind the chemical structure of providing energy solutions. Not everyone can have the capacity to give money or to fund such projects, but they're the creative minds that can actually open up, get people outside the box, make people stop looking at energy as such a huge jargon, like I don't belong there. It's energy, that's not my business. It takes a lot of creative thinking to bring the whole energy language to simplicity. So if the youth want to tap in, think about your creative abilities. Are you good in communication? Just as we're communicating right now, if you have the command of language, if you have the understanding, you can easily pass what a scientist is saying. If you have good visuals, you can easily interpret the molecular structures in energy to become something that someone understands in a very quick instance or a quick encounter with a brand. So I feel like that's another way of looking at it if the youth really want to come into it without navigating through the complexities.
Amazing. So I'll go back to Lennox Umundi. You have been in the industry for so long, and especially being the young person, and you starting your own, venturing into your own idea. And here we have young people. What will you tell a young person who feels like they have gone to school, they are done with university, there are no jobs out there? So what will you advise a young person who will want to venture into a business but they don't have an idea, or they kind of feel like, since I don't have money and I'm not able to do it? So what will be your contribution to them towards pursuing their dreams?
All right, thank you. I think the last point is really very critical, because you've said, if I don't have money to do it. So I think for us, I'll do a story about when I started the innovation and how it got to work out. It worked out after 2 years. I started in 2020, then it worked in 2022. So it took some time. And I think most of us, I think even I was skeptical about time and giving it a try at the first time go. But then what I did was that I'm a major of mass communication with PR and DevCom. So then what we did, I was mostly inspired by Larry Madowo. In 2020, I was seeing that guy and I was like, hey, ata mimi, I really want to. Like on Twitter, we usually say, we want the God of Larry Madowo, right? So I was mostly inspired, then I wanted to be on TV, because that is what I was studying in the university. But then I realized that as much as I want to be on TV, I'm not alone. There are more than 10,000 people also who have the same vision as me. Then in mass communication, we mostly source for news. So in one particular day when we are told to do a project, just look for news, bring it in class, then you'll get your grade at the last semester. But then when we visited one particular family in Limuru, because I'm at St. Paul's, I studied at St. Paul's University, we realized that in that household, not only could they afford sanitary pads, but they had to negotiate. Like the mom said, it's either I buy food for them, or it's either I buy food or they don't get pads. So it was like two things. Basically, they were having a rift between should we buy food or should we buy parts. Then I realized that we are living in a world that is rapidly growing, where changing technology and everything is at a very high, unprecedented rate, but still access to resources like sanitary towels, water, food is still limited. But then I said to myself, well, what can I do to, to start or to solve this problem? I didn't know that is something that could now put food on my table, but then I just wanted to, in the university tunasema kujituma tu. Like, I don't want to be idle. Like, at the end of the day, I want to do something. Nichoke niende nilale, you see? Like, I want to feel tired, then I go to sleep. But then I started to look more into the industry of sanitary towels. Like, what is this thing called period poverty? I didn't know it. What I only knew was that ule mama alisema ana pads kwa watoto wake, and they can't go to school, they can't go to work and all that. But then I was like, in 21st century, and we still don't have such, maybe I can do something to help. So for somebody who wants to start, for me, my starting point was just, I identified that in a way of connecting to the community. I identified a problem, which was period poverty at that time, in access of sanitary products to that community. And then I realized, how can I give a solution? But to do more research on it, you realize that there exist more than 10,000, if I'm not wrong, NGOs that collect pads from the donors, and then they give them for free. But there's a problem. To me, I saw a problem with that system of you go collect, then you give girls or women in certain community just for free. I realized a lot of problems are there, because one is, as much as they give that, most people don't give menstrual education to these girls and women in these communities. And it's a really major problem, because we visited Oloitoktok. A girl has a pad in their bag, but she doesn't know how to even use it. So she's just saying, "Itu lipewa jana," and ntaiweka tu hadi nijue ni nini. So some of these informations are very crucial for somebody who wants to start a business. You have to define some of the steps, like the solution. And there's no better way to define that than going through the design thinking process. It starts from ideation to the last stage where you've known your stakeholders, the market and everything, you've prototyped. So one of the things I'd suggest is, for somebody who wants to start, find somebody who can teach you about design thinking, because it has a process that can easily be adapted by anybody. Ataka umeenda shule, ataka hujaenda, it's easily understood. So through the design process, you are able to even use problems as solutions. Because for us, that mother in the same community, we realized up to the next kwake tu hapo, she was growing bananas. And to me, I was like, why do you cut, after harvesting the fruit, the trunk? You feed it to cows, or you just leave it to rot in the ground. To me, that was value, because I said, you have a problem, but what you don't know is that the solution is quite literally in your own hand, because you are the same person that farms the banana, harvests the fruit, cut the trunk, or you feed it to cows, just leave it to rot. So that was my starting point. Then I realized, as much as we want to give charity to everybody, I think people are not they're not objects of charity, but they're subjects of right. And so we realize that as much as EcoBanner Limited is coming up, we really need to make sure that not only do we make people feel like we've given them something on to create opportunity for themselves, but we've given them value. If they can't afford sanitary towels, but they can bring the banana trunk to our factory so that we can process and make sanitary towels, then that is a value returned to the community. A farmer brings, for example, we have a system that we use for payment. When a farmer brings their banana trunk, we measure it in terms of length and weight. The reason why we do that is because there's a process that it goes through before we make the fiber. After weighing all that, we have to take the water out that is from the fibers and all that, then we remain the fiber. Then we weigh also the fiber, subtract the weight that we got in the first time, then we know how much are we paying this farmer as a motivation. So we do that not because we want to tell people that this is an innovative thing, but we do that to have a connection with the community that has a problem that we are solving. So our model of operation is centered into having our customers at the center of our operations since our inception. So we've been doing that. So I think for somebody who wants to start, and if they don't know how to get funding, which was the last point that he said, what I did was that I first started by watching a lot of YouTube videos for entrepreneurs, mostly in Nigeria. I don't know why I chose Nigeria, but I feel like there's a way they pitch their ideas that can just, if you're pitching with those guys, competing for funding, if you're not ready, you are going to lose. So if you are only Kenyan and there are 10 Nigerians, be sure if you're not ready, number 1 to 10 Nigeria, then you're the last person. So I wanted to learn from them. I wanted to learn how they pitch with enthusiasm, how they show credibility on their projects, and how they want to tell the judges that not only are we providing this solution, but we want you to be part of our journey. So one that I started with was Enactus. It's a global organization that gives a university students around the world a platform to innovate, solve a problem in the community. But as you solve that problem, as a young person in the university, are you able to harness that problem to form a startup? And are you able to generate money? Because at the end of the day, all the investors that are coming in, they're not going to put their money somewhere where their money can't, like the value can't be seen. So I learned how to pitch at Enactus. We failed terribly. I think the first time when I realized that all these things, you can't do them alone because you also need a team. As much as you have a good idea or you want to start, you want to look for funding, if you don't have a team, even if it's a good idea, no matter how good that idea is, you can't do everything one person. You can't do it alone. At some point, you have to figure out who is going to help me, who is going to do this for me. So I realized that in actors we have failed, let's look for another one. Then I tried because a lot of people were saying that in Kenya they don't give funding. So to me I was like, really, do they not give? But one particular challenge that we did was the Clean Tech Challenge. It was a program organized by the Switzerland Embassy in Nairobi and Kenya Climate Innovation Center to give around 900,000 for a startup in Kenya that is able to show that they have a market potential and they're solving a problem in the community. So because I already defined that we are solving a good problem in the community, and this is our second pitch after failing others, we can really try here and go to the next level. Then we pitched around 300 applications, but then at the end of the day, when we announced the winners, I realized this does not only show that we are a beacon of hope to solve these problems, but this is a stepping stone towards sustainability. So for us, that was 2021. Then 2022, the same, because now having around 900,000 and you are a manufacturing company, you won't go far. You'll buy 2-3 machines, you won't even get a warehouse, you are done. So we are on to look for next funding. So that was our pre-seed. Now we need a seed. Then one morning, my COO, she was called Kylie Mudhoni, she received an email from the Hull Prize Foundation. So the Hull Prize is a global organization with headquarters in Boston. They also task university students, just the same with the actors, to come up with innovative solutions, and they give you that platform to pitch your idea to potential investors. And the catch, after pitching this idea, but the problem is you only get 4 minutes to pitch your idea. So if you want to pitch the idea, I know it's a no-brainer if you prepare well, but 4 minutes to make your case as to why your business deserves $1 million. That was the catch. Are you guys able to pitch an idea to win $1 million? Then he said, we can try. That's January. What I remember most part of it was that we all kind of left campus kidogo to focus on getting this $1 million. So we said, either tunapata hii pesa or our parents will be on our neck because we've skipped school. But then when we started the journey in January, now with the Hull Prize Foundation, after we've gotten some machines, we've gotten some place to operate, then we went through the Hull Prize Foundation. We went to South Africa, competed against 64 teams in Africa only, because it's a worldwide competition, it's a global competition, and only one team each and every year wins $1 million. So you first start with your region, Africa, then you'll compete other people in Europe, Asia, South and North America, and even the Central America. When we did that, we got to this point where we were among the top 6 finalists to pitch the idea in New York. And the person who was going to award the prize was none other than the 42nd president of the US. So for us, what was also really giving us motivation was to go and see the president of the US. And to get on that, it's quite a long hour flight from here to the New York, around 14 hours. But then we were like, even if we don't win this prize, we've gotten to a point where we've been out of the country 3 times already. So we were like, hata kama kiumane, we've gone to South Africa, we've gone to Boston, now we're coming back to New York. We've really done something to place our university in a global map. But then when we went to when we went to New York, something clicked because my CMO, the guy who does our marketing and communications, he believed in something that if you go somewhere new and it rains, then that means good luck. So when we arrived to New York around 4 p.m., then it rained. Before, on our way to the hotel, it rained. So it was like, tushashinda ipesa. And I was like, my friend, they've only had like 6 best teams all over the world from 15,000 applications to be among the top 6, you can imagine. And one particular team that was really a challenge to us was Bria. So Bria is a company by 4 Hong Kong students, Chinese, and some Indians. What they do is they make beer out of bread. So you see how we have white bread, brown bread, a gluten-free bread. They make all those tastes of beer. That's very innovative because when they came to the competition, they already had 400 plus sales K in revenue. And here we are with only selling around 10 of them. And some was something else I don't want to say. But what gave us motivation to go and pitch to these ideas, he said, we can't come this far and not give it our last shot. So we went in the following day, pitched our idea in front of the president, and at the end of our 4-minute pitch with a 4-minute Q&A, Ecobana was announced the winner of $1 million US. Yep. So that is where this money that people have been talking about came from. It came from that foundation. And what we are now doing with that is we are building a new manufacturing facility. We are building 3 manufacturing facilities to process fiber, to process pulp, and to process sanitary towels. And the reason we are doing that is because the main theme of the competition was to be able to employ 2,000 people by 2024. My guy, and we're only some months away from that. But we're not so sure if we will achieve it, but what we're truly passionate about is the impact that we've had as Ecobana Limited. I mean, coming back to the country, President Ruto calls you, some other big guy, then we get to work with the Ministry of Education. To us, it was like a realization, is this really happening? But then it was just at heart that if we are dedicated to solve this problem of period poverty, then this is the way we are going to do it. Yeah. Just like that, we all moved down to Kisii, but we've been up and down. School is virtually kidogo. We are fully much more invested in the business, making it work. And with that also, we've been able just to, win a couple of awards for myself, for my team members, for the company. And it's really good. If you want to start, have an idea, if you get a problem that you want to solve, just do like a good market research. How many people have tried to solve this problem before you? And why did they not solve this problem? What is the gap? Where were they stuck? And if you feel like you've defined that and already you have a good solution to a good problem, the next step is look for funding. And how are you going to do that? If you don't know those avenues, you could reach out to me, you could reach out to, my LinkedIn is very active. I'm 24/7 on LinkedIn because that is another platform for us that is very connecting us to other people around the world. And so if you want to get funding, it won't come to you. You have to go and look for it. And so you have also to know this funding that you want to get, how are you going to use it? One thing with these organizations that give funding and grants is that once one person gives you a grant, you don't use it well, bet you're not going to get any funding. And that company is going to die. And we don't want to die because the entrepreneurs in Kenya, this week we were mourning Sandy. Sandy was a good one for us. I think they raised around 40 million, but now Sandy is going to sell assets. So management also, have a good team that is able to help you to achieve your goal. If all of you share the same vision, the same theme, you can make it. It will take time. My journey took 2 years. Right now we are still working. We are still not there yet, but at least we are on the journey to becoming one of the number 1 biodegradable sanitary towels in Africa. So we are continuing to do it, and you can do it too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, okay.
Saying?
Okay.
Okay, just very quickly to add on to what he's saying, he's given you that methodology. I'll tell you this. Also, the people you partner with, and I want to talk to the ladies here. I am not the original founder of Alpha Creative. Alpha Creative belongs to my husband, who started it 15 years ago. I came in when he married me 3 years ago. Why? Because of one principle: honor. Honor the people who are in your life. It lessens the burden of you having to start from scratch. Because when I came to his life, I'm more educated than him, I'm more sophisticated than him. I could have been, boy, please. But I kept, submission is wisdom under control. So when you submit under that wisdom, the men see. She said it. The men see. And so when he saw that, he was like, babe, I'm going to give you 70% shares of this company.
Wow.
Run with it. And I ran with it, and what Doris was saying in the morning, that there are shares for women who led organizations. Right now, Alpha Creative benefits from that because it's 70% women-led. So you can lessen your journey by attracting the right partner and by practicing honor. Thank you.
Oh, amazing. Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice.
I'd like to add to that. I really, really, really like that because I founded Drop Access, and especially the Vaxibox refrigerator. And it was my mission because I was a mom and I suffered vaccine inequality. I was living in Makueni. But right now, I equally work with my husband. So I really, really like the concept of attracting the right partner to move you places. So my husband, James, is a mechanical engineer. And I was struggling with building Vaxibox to be something that is taken seriously in the market. Then this man comes and tells me, it's okay, I'm going to help you. And he whips it up into a design that I never thought of. And now he's the CTO for the company. And I like him being there because I know with James, he's going to ensure that we keep on iterating further and further ahead. I will have never iterated Vaxibox to the third version that we're doing right now. And this third version is going to get WHO. I know for it. And I would never even have thought of even going for WHO without this pattern that I brought in. And right now, we even have biomedical engineers, IoT engineers who've come into the team. And somebody was talking about we consider collaboration, not competition. My team are much more brilliant than I am, and I admit it. Francisca, Sam, they're really brilliant young people. And when I brought them in, I wasn't so sure, like, oh my God, they're really young, they're brilliant, they could take the idea and run away with it. But then I thought, they could actually build it even much better than I did. And I gave the trust of that process of partnering with people who are worthwhile. And now we've driven the agenda for Vaxibox. And I really, really love the concept of collaborating with worthwhile people to drive the agenda. Don't die alone with your idea, do not. It's much harder. We always joke at the company. You know, in Kenya you get ripped off very easily, right? You start a business, maybe farming, and you get ripped off 50 Gs, like that, poof, gone. But you can be 3 partners and you contribute, you can be 2 partners, you contribute 25, that's easier. If you get ripped off 25, it's much less painful than getting ripped off 50K, right? I want to build Vaxibox, and all the failure that I had while doing it alone, I want to fail with the team. Don't do it alone. Build with a worthy team.
Build the world's team, yeah? So if you have an idea, don't just say that you do, you just want to keep your idea to yourself. Always go out there, look for people, because you may never know who's going to be on your rescue. Get out of your comfort zone. Even if I'm going to fail today, tomorrow I know that I'm going to stand out and I'm going to make it. So let us believe in ourselves as the young people, because we are the future of tomorrow. So it means if us as the young people, we don't believe in ourselves and we don't get out of the comfort zone and push ourselves and sacrifice towards that dream, it will never happen. But the moment that we step out and just sacrifice, you believe in yourself, believe in the person that is telling you, you know you can do this and you're good at this, you're going to make it, right? So I'm going to go back to Kai. And can you hear me? And I'll want to ask you the last question. Can you hear me? Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. My question will be, how can cross-cultural and transnational collaboration can accelerate economic development, especially in the age of increased globalization? let me ask the question again. How can cross-cultural and transnational collaboration. Okay, sorry. Let me repeat the question. How can cross-cultural and transnational collaboration unmute yourself?
Okay, sorry. I think I heard it. I'm on mute. I can't hear you all, but I'm not on mute anymore. I think I got the question though. Um, so, how does cross cultural transitional collaboration accelerate economic development? So I want to start off with my story just to give you all just a little background of who I am and how I ended up doing business in Kenya. Um, so as you all know, my name is Kia Wakesho Simmons. I do have a Kenyan name. However, I am not Kenyan. I am born and raised. My entire family, my entire lineage is from the United States, and we are of the Gullah Geechee people. You all will find out this once you come to our call to action. But I joined the military, so I'm ex-U.S. Army military. I also then got out of the military and started doing civilian government contracting, and then during that, working in Afghanistan as a civilian government contract supporting our U.S. military in Afghanistan, I met Kenyans. It was for the first time that I had ever met Kenyans in my life. And I'm like, okay, cool. And once we got to get to know each other, I met my adopted family, James Milawasi. And they point to be quite honest with you all, I didn't know where Kenya was at on the map. Okay, I knew it was in Africa, but I didn't know where it was at on the continent. And once he told me about the country, and I read up on it, I'm like, oh my God, I need to go to Kenya. I told him I was going to buy a ticket and I was going to go, and he laughed at me and told me no, I wasn't. And I showed up 2 weeks later with my ticket to go to Kenya. End up in Kenya, and I was blown away. As an African American, there are myths that are told about us to you all, and myths that we have about Africa that were not taught in school. And so when I arrived in Kenya, and more specifically in Mombasa, I'm like, oh my God, these people are living better than me, better than most African Americans in America at that time. And I was just taken aback from the hospitality. It reminded me of being home here in the States, where I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. And I just felt comfortable. And I actually was very, very blown away culturally to see that everybody, and this is going to sound funny, but that everybody was Black. Everybody was Black. Everybody on the TV was Black, the cartoons on the television. And that might sound weird to you all, but being a Black American in the United States, you're just not used to seeing yourself on TV. You're not used to seeing yourself publicly represented in the United States. And so for me, going to Kenya and seeing that in real time was life changing. You know, experience this for myself. I thought to myself, what can I do to bring these two cultures, our culture and the Kenyan culture, together through commerce? Travel was the key. Um, right now, as it stands, I've been to 45 countries around the world, and I've lived in seven of them outside of the military. And what that did for me was taught me that the nucleus of understanding someone is the cultural similarities. While I am not Kenyan, I am of African descent, and I was able to see the similarities between myself and being in Kenya and looking at the culture and appreciating it. So what I did was I created my old brand because I'm transitioning right now, Worldviews, and we established the travel concierge company that offers services to African Americans to be able to come to East Africa, where mostly West Africa has made a concerted effort to start the relationship between African Americans and Africans in Ghana, but we wasn't able to see that concerted effort in East Africa. So we found that there was a gap, but there's a need on both sides, especially when it comes to the youth. We were able to target a specific industry through travel to target the youth and also collaborate with the youth and ourselves to introduce ourselves to you all with commerce and trade. So in 2019, I brought 30 African Americans to Nairobi, Kenya. We employed local Kenyans to assist us with showing African Americans the country, showing African Americans investment opportunities, as well as opportunities for them to even possibly bring their children and collectively build with Kenyans. And then this past 2022, we came in December with around 50 African Americans to Kenya, and we also initiated our internship program where we employ youth from the community of Kibra, and we also have our office about 5 minutes outside of Kibra. We have about 6 interns that we intern with right now. They are working with us. They all have just graduated from university in Kenya, and they work in communication with us internationally. They work with PR with us internationally, hospitality, investment opportunities, as well as relationship building and HR. This year, we are now initiating our call to action celebration where we'll be in Nairobi this December, and we're going to bring about 200 African Americans. Why is this important? There's a need for African Americans to expand our reach, and we want the first place to be Africa because there's a similarity that we have and a connection that we have to Africa that make it very unique for us, and more specifically Kenya, because Kenya is a developing country. Kenya has so many opportunities for us to collectively build wall. And so we saw that there's a gap. So there's a need for us to be able to have the opportunity to relocate. And with those transitions, we're also able to invest in the country by opening up our own businesses and employing local Kenyans and local youth, such as my company, in terms of employing the local youth and in the interns. And so in December, our focus is on relationship building. One of the things that we've saw with the movement with Ghana was that they did the year return, and it was exciting. There was a lot of partying and things of that nature, but I think that they missed the intricate portion of getting to know each other. Most people would say, you know, they've never met an African American, and I'm speaking about local Kenyans. Every time I come to Kenya, and I've been going to Kenya for the last 12 years, and you often don't know our history, but it's the other way around as well. And so we feel like in order to create a sustainable relationship that would translate to trade and commerce, that would translate to employment of the youth and employment of interns or whatever that may be, we have to get to know each other first. And so our focus on December is relationship building with you guys, specifically with the youth, so that we'll have the opportunity to create job opportunities in the Kenyan market, as well as expand into other industries as well. Thank you kindly.
Wow, thank you very much. So as let me ask you, Nora, because since you are a woman in the energy industry, And there have been a myth so far in the country that if you are a woman, most of women don't want to involve themselves in the energy because they feel that energy and engineering thing, they're just meant for men. So what will you tell women out there who they feel like they want to venture into the energy industry and the engineering, but they kind of feel like this?
Thanks for that. So first of all, there is no energy transition anywhere without women. Women are the biggest interactors with energy, whether it's lighting at home, whether it's cooking, we are the biggest interactors. So we must take a place so that we influence the policy of how technologies are developed for us to accept energy or access energy, and we also must influence the policy space that will tell how we get to afford the energy that we need. So we need to understand, if we're thinking of a greener transition, or even any transition, to using any source of energy, the woman is the biggest interactor. So the woman must take charge. They must influence, they must give their opinion, they must share their knowledge, and they must participate. And that's the only way we'll end the divide, where there are more men working in the industry, and an industry where the most women are the ones who are influenced. If there is a blackout, or there is no charcoal, or there's no gas in the house, who suffers the most? It's the woman. Because she's the biggest interactor. She's the one who takes the heat the most. So it's time that more women actually get into the industry to participate as policymakers, as technology developers. And I have made it, I have done it, and I'm cruising through it, even with lots of challenges. It's happening, and I always want to be an example to other women out there that can build ventures in the energy space. They can build ventures in the energy technology space, and they can build successful and meaningful and commercial ventures that influence how women are affected by the energy sector. I really love building drop access, because I always look at it like it's a reward to myself for the time when I couldn't access vaccines for my daughter, but then also to the other women who still can't access vaccines for their children. And women are the ones who take care of. They do the unpaid care work. If somebody got polio and became crippled because they didn't access the polio vaccine, who's going to take care of that child or that person? Is the mother. So we have to participate, just to ensure that we get to back ourselves, especially from the challenges that we face for so long, because of how unequal the world is. And also, the men have to be allies to us, give us the opportunities, give us the finances, give us the equitable chances to actually participate in it. There's a time I used to train women to take up solar pumping solutions. It was a woman group. And an incident happened where we actually got them to commit the chama money to buying the solar pump, so that they connected to where they're selling water from a well that actually created as a chama. And the day they were going to pay for it, the men came to the meeting and they chased us away. And they said we had come actually here to rip their women. And actually, we looked like con men who'd actually told these women, oh, bring a chama money, pay for this pump. But then I came to realize men are custodians of money in our communities, right? For a very long time. And that's just how the gender power structures have played out. But then, if I want these women to benefit, then the men have to be participants to this. Yeah, so that this woman can actually access water easily. She doesn't have to carry the whole day. That little girl who needs to be in class doesn't have to stay at home carrying water because she can't access water easily, and energy can pump the water. So we must participate. And women are thriving, and we're doing it because, just remember, at the end of the day, we're the ones who take the greatest heat. That blackout, you're the one running around for candles and stuff. No gas, you're the one who, irrespective of what is happening, there must be food on the table, right? We must participate. We must influence the policies. We must influence the technologies. It is not time for us anymore where technologies come from the West and we try to fit our lives around it. No, we want technologies that are built for us here, that we understand, that we can afford, and we can sustain over time, because the quality of our lives actually depend on it. I hope that's fine.
So we need to agree that it's the fact that we need both men and women for us to excel, right? And I'll go back to you, Lennox. Today we are talking about the International Youth Day, and our theme being that unification of youth voices. How can young people come together and work together towards the sustainability and the development of our nation?
All right. I'd say the best way we can come together to work towards achieving sustainability in in a particular sector is if we can identify the skills that each and every one of us have, and how can we tap into or harness those skills to benefit or to create something that is able not only to benefit us alone, but also to benefit other people. For example, when I was starting the innovation, I didn't have any background on menstrual hygiene, MHM, but Kylie had. That's why I brought her in as the COO. And so if you are able, or if we are able to identify what the other person is good at, and if what he or she is good at can be harnessed, or it can be used to bring about change in the community. For example, if you want to start a business and you know very well that so-and-so from another university or from another forum is a really good business strategist, they can draw a good plan, they can write a good grant report, they can, do applications. Those are people you need to have in your closer circle and have them to be in your team so that you can work together. It is in the power of collective, as you say, the unification, only if you identify how are all of us going to bring value on the table. If I bring my skill set on business management and execution, somebody else is going to bring a financial literacy. And so at the end of the day, we all achieve a goal because somebody is bringing a skill set that the other person don't have. And I think that is why all the speakers that were here said that they can't employ somebody who thinks like them. I'm a business executionist. I can't have also another person doing that. I'd rather have another guy who is financially responsible to help me manage my finances. And so it is through a way which we can identify the skills that each and every one of us has, and how can we tap into those skills to create something better, bolder, to drive us towards sustainability. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, amazing. That's nice. Sandra, what about you?
I think when we talk, basing on this theme about youth unification, my take would be this. If you want to have dominion over something, because unification is a product of dominion, you have to have mastery. And I think what we lack in this generation is mastery. So we find someone started at point A, they're at point B, C, D, and you're wondering, what have you mastered over time? So I believe if we take time to master, and even master our thoughts, master our voices, then we will find that we are pushing one agenda towards a specific goal. So I think that if we want to be unified as youths, let's start mastering. Let's master the patterns. What were the mistakes that the elder generation made? Let us master what are the systems, what are the structures. And that's why there's a question here. Have you read the UN Charter? Have you read the Constitution? Mastery. When you master, it becomes easy for you to advocate. It becomes easy for you to speak. It becomes easy for you to create. It becomes easy for you to build. And then you become unified.
Wow, that's so amazing. Meaning that we need to master and work in the pattern for us to get to the right place, right? So I'll want us... I will want us to, starting with you, to give us our closing remarks as we're winding up because of time.
Okay, thank you for that. So one thing for us young people, nobody's coming to save us. Like we've been told, we're the leaders of today. We have to take up these opportunities, and the opportunities lies in the challenges that we are facing. So assignments to all of us. Just remember the Kenyan situation. 75% of the population are youth. That is around 41 million. And then globally, I think Africa, there's 1.2 billion young people. Now all these people need to be transitioned into a meaningful economy, to jobs, to parents. And we need healthcare, we need housing, we need food, we need energy, we need water. How are we going to ensure that the earth survives even as we transition and we have more needs for these things? Sustainability, build the jobs, employ yourself, employ more people. There's nobody coming to give us the jobs. We have to create the jobs. So just jitume, for lack of a better word. I heard that being said. And begin it. Once you starting is the hardest part, I can assure you that. But once you start it, things starts rolling. You also get agitated just enough to ensure that it actually survives. So just, I don't want to say Jitume because the people here from outside the country, just send yourself, literally. Thank you.
Can I go next? All right. My parting shot will be, as young people, we need to rewire our mind, and to be able to think, we just need to rewire our mind to know that there are some of the things that worked some years back that don't necessarily work in these times, because like some years back, it was good to have a degree. And right now, if you can't have anything other than your degree, then it's useless. So we need to rewire our mind and to make sure that as the world changes towards technology, towards a sustainable way, we need to have not only those skill sets, but we also need to understand that how we're going to tap into these changes and use what we have that we got from school to create bolder solutions to the problems that we have in the world. So yeah, that will be my parting shot. Thank you.
My parting shot is very simple. There are two types of people in life. We have the hunter, we have the farmer. If you approach life as the hunter, you will get the meat now, tomorrow it will be carcass. If you approach life as a farmer, you will always have a land to till, and you will always have harvest.
That's enough. You have decided to kill it, yeah? Who made to choke? Come back anyway. But it's good. Thank you so much, guys, for creating time and honoring our invitation and being with us since morning till now. We really honor you guys. We don't take it for granted. And we are hoping and praying that you're going to work together because you're the young people and you have decided you're going to change the face of the country and go fast since you're the leaders of today and tomorrow. And thank you so much for encouraging our people, the young people in the house and also the ones that are watching online. And we believe when you're going to come together as young people, work in the same direction and have the same vision, the same dream, we shall be able to go fast. Indio, thank you so much, guys.
I know there are for the panelists. See, there will be there will be a cup of coffee as we network, as we live at our own pleasure. Okay, my apologies. Next time we will keep time. And I have a message for you. I have a message for you. Thank you so much, darling, from diaspora. You're such a darling. Thank you so much for joining and looking forward to interacting with you as you bring actually the message I have for you, it's in regard to we go to look for greener pastures and we don't bring them home. Sini ukweli? Listen to this. That is an African word. Sitaki kujisikia tena. Nice. Imekataa na ilikuwa message yenu, imagine he had to record it. Ilikuwa message yenu, imagine he had to record it.
Hello guys, my name is Allah Deledesma. I'm one of the co-founders of the Emerging Academy. Our organization is about bringing diasporan Africans and continental Africans together to build the Africa of our dreams. You all know that Africa as it is right now is basically not what it should be. And for that reason, the youth and the younger generation seems to be trying to run away from Africa instead of staying back and building the Africa of our dreams. And I don't blame you guys if you want to leave the continent, because my generation have not done what we're supposed to do to build the dream, to build the foundations for you guys to carry on. So all I'm saying to you guys is this is just an appeal for me as a father and as a grandfather. My generation has not done the right thing. We failed. But now you guys cannot make the same mistakes we've made in the past, because we made a lot of mistakes because we didn't think of we didn't think of the legacy that's meant to be built. And this is what my organization is going to be doing. We're going to be building a legacy to actually help the Africans on the continent and Africans and diaspora coming together to build the Africa that we want. And I'm appealing to you guys because basically the baton is actually in your hands right now, because you guys see what we don't see. You've got the energy that we don't have, and you have the mindset, which a lot of you have got the mindset to move the African continent forward. So I'm appealing to you guys. It's time to build Africa of our dreams. One thing I will say, please, I know Africa is hard, I know Africa is difficult, and the work we need to do is basically hard. But if we don't build it, nobody will build it for us. We failed, but you guys cannot afford to fail like we did, because most of our generation ran away from the continent to basically go abroad, go all over the place. We need to come. That's basically what we built. I'm trying to redress the balance by working with people, find ideas and solutions to bring Africa back to where it needs to be. And I'm appealing to the next generation, the youth, please. The battle's in your hands. You need to help us build Africa of our dreams. We need to build an Africa that's devoid of foreign influence. As you can see what's going on in Niger right now. That's basically a consequence of the fact that our continent is compromised. Our leadership are compromised. We haven't got the educations, we haven't got the hospitals, we haven't got the roads, we haven't got the infrastructures that's fit for a continent of Africa. We have got a lot of work to do. And guys, we need you, the youth, to take the baton, be fearless, be very, very fearless, be uncompromising. Hello guys, my name is Allah Deledesma. I'm one of the co-founders of the Emerging Academy. Our organization is about bringing diasporan Africans and continental Africans together to build the Africa of our dreams. You all know that Africa as it is right now is basically not what it should be. And for that reason, the youth and the younger generation seems to be trying to run away from Africa instead of staying back and building the Africa of our dreams. And I don't blame you guys if you want to leave the continent, because my generation have not done what we're supposed to do to build the dream, to build the foundations for you guys to carry on. So all I'm saying to you guys is this is just an appeal for me as a father and as a grandfather. My generation has not done the right thing. We failed. But now you guys cannot make the same mistakes we've made in the past, because we made a lot of mistakes because we didn't think of we didn't think of the legacy that's meant to be built. And this is what my organization is going to be doing. We're going to be building a legacy to actually help the Africans on the continent and Africans in diaspora coming together to build Africa that we want. And I'm appealing to you guys because basically the baton is actually in your hands right now. Because you guys see what we don't see. You've got the energy.
As I had introduced myself earlier, my name is Mosenda Jacob. I'm a journalist by profession. Currently, I volunteer as a media coordinator and communications in Climate Clock, Kenya. I would like to appreciate for the chance I was given to attend this initiative or this youth forum, and together with my fellow youths to exchange ideas. I've learned a lot. And also to add on to the panelists and speakers, I've really gained a lot from you. And most of you, maybe we are going to partner in different perspectives in transforming, using youth green skills towards a sustainable world. In Climate Clock, just to shed light, wanasema kwa Kiswahili kwamba mwamba ngoma huvuta kwake. Kidogo tu mnipe fursa. Climate Clock is a climate championing organization that champions towards greener world and also under a limited time. Currently we are under 5 years. So from the panelists who have been speaking all through, from the start, from Madam Sarah, from Madam Esther, to the last panelists that have been speaking, I've gained at least one concept in which we will partner in a way in transforming the climate sector in a way. For example, for the last panelists whom they have been here, Mr. Lennox, Madam Nora, and the other lady, can't see her. I would really love to bring in climate feature in your organizations. Maybe we partner in a way that we can transform climate change through your organizations. Maybe Mr. Lennox has talked about recycling of banana trunks. I heard the other lady talking of the initiative she's doing in Makueni County. Recently, we were in Makueni County pushing for an initiative for climate change. Also, we have been in Machakos, and we're looking forward to move to all over the country to preach the issue of climate change and also to reverse the issue of environmental pollution in one way or the other. With all remarks, I would like to stop there. I will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you very much, Lucy.
Thank you. And hoping to see you guys during the climate week. So, have you registered? Nice, see you there. And we have an event for loss and grief on 7th of October, so mark your calendars. Loss and grief is not only about death. Loss and grief, you have a boyfriend who has heartbroken you. These are real issues. Hata mi ulia. No, tuambiane ukweli. Yes, real conversation. Loss and grief could be you had a business and something bad has happened. Sawa. So we know mental illness, it's something that we're struggling with as young people. So please mark your calendars for 7th of October. And for the partners in the room, if we can join hands and forces, we also ask for your support and partnership. Thank you. Is it 15th and August? The climate? Yes, 24th and 25th. Yes, we have climate engagement. Okay, allow me call it Bayali at KICC. First, see, okay. Kama we ni alumni wa Yali. Oh, yes. We welcome you to the climate engagement at KICC on 25th and 26th. 24th and 25th. Very affordable, 1,000 bob per student. Those who are students. Okay, I'll send the communication in your emails and the WhatsApp group, but it's something. Maximum it's 3,000, so tafuta 1,000 to 3,000, please. Let me tell you something, and this is one thing that I will teach the young people, and there is something in commitment and value addition. Sometimes even these people you've seen here, the speakers, they've ever even paid a conference maybe that is paying 150,000 Kenyan shillings just to go and learn. So saa zingine, tusipende vitu free sana. It's good because sometimes hatuna. But pia if you can be able to pay, do it. You never know the value, who you're going to meet. You just don't know. Sawa sawa. Nimaza kuongea vibaya. No, we have to learn some things as early as now. Na zitatusaidia ni vile, I wish wangeshare more things you could have. A lady with a feedback or something. Okay, I know we will have the feedback, but can I just get something yenye you feel we need to do better next time? I have one. Time management. Kindly, if we say it's 8, let us start being the Bill Gates of our time now. And those people are people who keep time. Si ni ukweli? So let's keep time. Sin sawa. Otherwise, you've been a very lovely, amazing audience. Thank you so much. Nawapenda sana. Don't, in case you have anything, just come. You've seen the team. We also have the wall, so let's engage more. In case you have more opportunities for the young people, for the youth, don't hesitate to share. Sawa sawa. I know we have different organizations here. We recognize your presence. Let us keep engaging more and more and more. Since yes, if you feel we will have an idea, let us see how we can support each other as young people. Since yes. Anybody issue? Oh, nawapenda sana. Oh, thank you. Tuwekewe ngoma moja ya kudansi sasa kama vijana tukitoka. Eh? Si ndio? Mnataka gani? Yes bana. Gani? DJ. Oh, Sandra? Oh yeah, prayer. To dance ndo tuombe ama tuombe to dance? Tuombe kwanza. Haya, Sandra tupeleke kwa baba.